Good evening. Happy Thanksgiving. Welcome back. Welcome back to ABN AMRO live broadcast class. And this is Amir Callahan. Thank you. Thank you for your support. Anyway, today, well, it is Thanksgiving, so I'll try to make this fast. I'll try to make this quick. However, if you still want to know more about other information, especially today is the first day of the AIXL, the IO application. So then if you want to know more about this, well, we will talk about this towards the end of this class. However, if you want to know more information about that, you can stay tuned. I'll be in the investment group and talk about it too. So anyway, I know you probably wanted to go out for tonight. And yes, after this class, have fun, long weekend. And don't forget, the night after is going to be Black Friday, go shopping, right? And I'm going to be there too. So anyway, let's get things started. Today, we have the financial. We'll first have financial news, market analysis, including the stock market, also the crypto market. And the crypto market is like, whoa, there's a roller coaster, but it's great roller coaster. So we'll go over a little more about the AIXL, IEO. How are we going to try? How are we because I'm going to go over the whole process with you, how you from applying to the listing date, and then we'll try to go over the details with it. And how are you going to get a better chance? And we have been talking to you about it, and a lot of people. There are some members they were experienced, so that's why that they know exactly what's going to happen. But we'll go over it for the newer members. We'll go over how can we increase our chance to get the allotment. So anyway, let's get things started. Today is basically it's the last day of everything. We are still going to have trading days on Friday, only half day, but all the economic numbers ends today. So today we have the initial jobless claim, we have the revised GDP, and then we also have the PCE numbers. So anyway, let's take a look at it. And it's still important because we supposed to still have a few rate cuts coming in the coming month, and then afterwards. However, this is what's going to happen because number lately is not looking that good. And then January we have our new president, well, re-elected president coming on. So a lot of we are already seeing that it's going to be a lot of policy changes. So, and it could be inflationary. But what it is we are already inflating. So there are more numbers we will go over. But today is the last day, and that's why initial jobless claim kind of push it early for one day. So then we can enjoy the Thanksgiving weekend had by Turkey, right? So let's go. So the number of Americans filing for new application for unemployment benefits fell. Actually, it fell again last week, but many layoffs workers are experiencing that they are being laid off and they are not finding a job regardless of that we have more jobs in the market. So the initial jobless claim for the unemployment benefit dropped 2,000 to 213,000, and in November 23rd. And then we have and then the economist forecast of 216,000 claims for the latest week. So we are under that. So, however, we were up for the last few weeks anyway. Actually, more than a few weeks. So we were in a high for the initial jobless claim. But everything's gonna be changed. Well, why am I saying that? This is supposed to be a good thing when we have lower initial jobless claim. Well, because they are not claiming yet. Remember, we were talking about that Boeing. Last time we were talking about Boeing, they're going to fire 17,000 employees. But the thing is, they have to have a 60-day notice. So then Some of them are still in their job, but they will end the not really contract, they will end the job in January. So, and then there were other ones too. There were other ones, the tech companies like AMD, for example, and there are a lot of other ones, they are laying off people. So we will be seeing a huge increase. That's one thing is initial jobless claim and then unemployment. So then because we have the two mandates for the Federal Reserve, so it's going to affect the rate cuts, which one is the price stability, which is inflation, and also maximum employment, which has to do with the unemployment and initial jobless claim. So it's not looking too good. But well, right now the number looks like it's going to be good. So anyway, right now we are seeing that yes, it is lower, it's being lowered, but I'm because like yeah, they are going to put it into consideration for the next rate cuts, but we still have to look at inflation. Well, let's look at the PCE in price index for October. Came as expected with an annual figure climbed 2.3%, while the core PCE is at rose to 2.8%, rose to 2.8%, so considerably above the Fed 2%, and it's not gonna get there. It's not gonna get there yet. If you go get to the 2%, you're looking at probably within 2 year time. But the reason why, well, I was talking about GDP. They came out to the GDP was flat. So basically, the growth of GDP was kind of flat too. So I'm just gonna skip that. But PCE, the PCE price index actually, yes, they were saying that it climbs to 2.3, but it was 2.8 anyway. So, and then the core is 2.8 now. It was much higher. So I think it's 3.2. So anyway, it's kind of declining in a way, inflation, but we are talking about the growth of that. So that's why I just something I don't understand. Inflation is just a thing that it's really hard for especially when it comes because of the election. A lot of people just coming out is like, why are they voting for Donald Trump? It's because that they are having problems putting food on the table. And you have to understand that inflation is about. You said about you want to lower to 2%, but they're still going up. You know what? Comparing to 4 years ago, our housing price is already three times higher, and the food prices is 2 to 3 times higher than before. And I'm not even go get into the gas price at the gas pump. So what are they trying to say? Do you know? I'm going to start talking about housing. I'm going to talk about the housing numbers, because inflation mainly came from the housing market. All right? So that's the reason why it gets me very angry. The reason why is that back then, 4 years ago, people feel very comfortable, and there was a research that came out with that, and I was looking at that. It's totally crazy. People actually feel comfortable with their work. You are looking at the household income, 45,000, and they are comfortable. Now they will have to feel comfortable if they are making over $200,000. So that's the sentiment. But the thing is, I can see that back in the days, the median rent is $1,000, and I remember back in the days that my mortgage payment is under $2,000, right? Now if I'm going to buy the same house, with the price 4 years ago is already 3 to 4 times more. And then we have the interest rate, they hike the interest rates. So basically no one can really afford back in the days, like a 1,500 square feet home. Because back then it was around around $150,000. Now it's like around $400,000. So yes, and it's still going up too, because they cut the interest rate. People start shopping for their houses, and they are not ordinary people. Trust me on that one, because ordinary people cannot afford a house. And now, last time we reported that the sales went up for the single family home sales. Now the report is the price goes up too. So now we are gonna have a problem. Even though right now the inflation is kind of flat, but with the housing prices goes up, the housing price jumped up to 0.7%. On a month-to-month basis, it's an upward revised 0.4% revised in August. That and it was reported in August. It was like 0.3%. So now the 12 months for the increase is actually 4.4% for the 12 months. So anyway, I'm comparing to the last month, it was like 4.2, and the month before that, they have it's around 2.86%. Those are the numbers. It's much higher than our inflation rates. So that's why you can see that there might be a deflation, which that's what we needed, because every single dollar that goes out of our pocket, that is less money that's less money in our pocket, because our salaries a lot of times is going to be fixed. So my salary is fixed. So that's the reason why that we see people get richer. When people and there are more than half of the United States population, we are living from paycheck from paycheck. So that's why that, it's kind of nice. We're going to have a new president and see what we can do with that. But this problem needs to be solved. But you know what, though? The stock market is doing good. Crypto market is doing great. So, well, that encourages us to invest, right? And that's the reason why we are all here for. So anyway, we have Donald Trump, like, for the whole week. He's appointing new people to take care of different things, and we'll talk about it Sunday. There are too many other things that we want to go over. But anyway, let's see what the direction is going to be at. But everything is looking inflationary very soon. So that is a big if that we are even going to have a rate cut in December. Hopefully, I still wanted to have like a 25 basis points, and it's probably going to happen. But the thing is, if we're gonna have rate cuts now, and all the numbers going to go haywire, our next one after that, they're probably gonna skip one. So that's my prediction, and let's see if it's gonna be like that. The next one we're gonna go over. Let's get back into stock Nvidia. Well, Nvidia is on the news again. So even though the stock is very iffy, especially today, the tech sector just kind of crashed. So anyway, let's look into Nvidia. On Monday, they'll show a new AI model for generating music and audio that can modify voice and generative novel sound. And I have seen technology very similar to that, and it's totally awesome. All right. So technology is aiming for the producers of music, film, and video game, and especially video game. You know how they are Nvidia and how their video games 3D graphics are. But anyway, so Nvidia, it is still the biggest supplier of chips and software using to create AI system. It says that it doesn't really. They're probably not gonna come up with that immediately, but there's something in the future. Is called the system is called Fugato. Fugato is short for the foundational generative audio transformer Opus 1. So yes, a lot. But the thing is, this new AI model, a lot of other companies are already doing it. We have Runway, and we have Meta. Well, Meta has been doing pretty good, and we're going to talk about it because they are basically trying to get away from AI. Now, they try to get away from the platform, but get into AI. But actually, the platform is being benefit to it. But still, the capex is still huge. But they are managing, and then you are seeing new products basically from the metaverse. So, which is kind of awesome. So anyway. So for Nvidia, everything's quite normal, and they try to introduce what it is like. Basically, this system can translate words to actual audio or video. So you can kind of type in like, what do you want? It's very open AI. So what is like you want to say? What if I would like want to sing a song and then with whose voice and everything, and they will make it for you. So any kind of sound, music, and graphics, and they're gonna be doing that. But I guess they're holding off on this one here, and they probably gonna see what are the other companies doing, and other companies are doing good. However, they are mainly doing sounds and musics. Well, Adobe is kind of doing the graphics. Adobe's the graphics is that the AI graphics is actually kind of awesome too. When we have time, we can go over that. So that's Nvidia, but the stock went down. The stock kind of went down today, so quite a bit. So that's Nvidia. The next one we gotta go. We gotta keep going with this because that it is. This is MicroStrategy. The reason why we kept talking about MicroStrategy is because it's going up like crazy. The reason it came back down a little bit, well, but all the crypto platform stocks, Bitcoin related stocks, they kind of came down a little bit for the last few days because Bitcoin went down to $90,000. So that's why everything came back, but it came back up because today it went back to 96,000, over 96,000 in one day. So of course the stock is going to go up. So anyway, let's talk about Monday. What happened? So the analyst is raising the price target for MicroStrategy. So anyway, because of the analyst raising the price target, it went up pre-market already 4%. So we're looking at the $440 something. But the analyst is saying that they raised, one of the analysts said they raised the target to $510 from $300. Yes, of course they're gonna raise that because they already passed $300. But that's not the only one. We have other ones that actually gave them six. We have the Bernstein. Bernstein was giving it $600. That's their target. So that was insane, but it came back down. Right now, it's around $388.84. Today, it already ran up. Today, after the market close, went up 10% already because of Bitcoin. But I have to say there's more than that. Because right now, my focus is more than just Bitcoin now. Because when you comparing Bitcoin to, for example, we have Ether, Solana, XRP, all of that, the growing rate is actually much better than Bitcoin. And then the other ones are other IEOs. The IEOs or they were IEOs for the last 2 months, the growing rate is astronomical. So that's why I think that if they want to keep up with crypto, especially MicroStrategy, they need to diverse it. Not just they focusing on Bitcoin, they need to focus on other cryptocurrencies too. But anyway, but let's do some calculations here. If the rate Bitcoin goes, and then they have the forecast for the MicroStrategy is going to go to $600. They are forecasting very, very near future. Bitcoin is good. That's the number of $150,000. So, well, we should be seeing that. And MicroStrategy, they have been buying. They kept buying and buying and buying. And I think they're supposed to be the world's fourth largest company that holds Bitcoin. So, yeah. So that is MicroStrategy. Pay attention to it. If you want to invest in the stock market, this is something that you might want to take a look into. Well, let's talk about EVs, Tesla. So we have analysts kind of analyzing this, and then we have the reason why ever since the election, the car company went up 40%. It is not just a car company; it's a tech company, it's an AI company. So it rallied around over like 350 billion in market caps, making it over $1 trillion. However, they are running into trouble And then UBS is kind of calling it out. You have to say, first of all, Donald Trump is going to take away them the 7,500, the 7,500, the tax credit for EVs, which greatly benefit the Tesla. However, Elon Musk was saying that yeah, it's not going to hurt us that much, but it's going to hurt other people, the other EV manufacturers like GM and Ford, because no one's really buying them, and they're making a loss anyway. So UBS is calling it out, even though Tesla is saying that it's not going to affect us that much, but UBS basically saying yes, it will. But it leads to another news. There are actually two news. So they have Tesla just came out with a new leasing program or the purchasing programs. So you gotta hear me out. So because right now we still have the 7,500 tax credit, so on it should be on the lease and also the purchasing. So anyway, so now they came up with the lease is $3,000 down and it's like less than $300 a month. I think that is quite good because they just lowered it. And then, or you can do like $4,000 down, and then for 60 months for $485 per month. However, you can choose either is a zero APR financing, or a zero down payment on that one. So you can choose either or. So that is still great benefit with the tax credit. So if you need to buy, I am not doing everything. Tesla did not pay me to do this, okay? But I was looking at all this promotion, like a lot of my coworkers saying that even though they can't really find a parking space, but they're considering buying this. So because it's such great value, so that's one news, and the other one is California. So the California governor, Gavin Newsom, was saying that, well, he tried to promote EV sales. So what he was saying is that he was going to propose that if Donald Trump is going to take away the $7,500 tax credit, California is going to subsidize it. So, but there was a catch. He said, not for Tesla. Everybody but Tesla was like, whoa, what just happened? And then I just find out the whole story. I think this is crazy, because it's not right. Just straight up, just not right. Well, just because, first of all, Elon Musk is a Republican, and then this governor is a Democrat governor, and they had a thing basically before. It was 2021, and that's the reason why that 2021 that Tesla actually moved the manufacturing plants from California to Texas. And that's why it's because of the governor is not doing things. It's just giving Elon Musk a lot of problems, and he's not getting the tax benefit out of it because there's something personal between them or something. So, well, anyway, I don't know what's gonna happen to this, but with me knowing Donald Trump and Elon Musk, they are. If someone do them bad, they would take revenge. So let's see how's this gonna play out. All right. So anyway, that's Tesla. The next one, let's get into the tech. Let's get into the tech sector. I know, the tech sector, especially today, kind of came down quite hard. But let's look into Intel. There's good news for Intel, and they have been talking about this for a long time, and they are in the final stage of this. It's about they have the grant from the Commerce Department for $8 billion grant. So for under the CHIPS Act, we talked about the CHIPS Act before, and another company that actually got it is TSM, the Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing, because they are opening the manufacturing plants over in Arizona. Well, actually, they already have it, but what they're gonna do is they're gonna open another one. I think they're opening another one. But the most important part is they are moving their AI chips manufacturing into the United States when they were being manufactured in Taiwan, solely manufactured in Taiwan, because they don't have the machinery, they don't have the technology over here. So they kind of purposely did that. However, because of this CHIP Act, it kind of moves them. Basically, they're moving their manufacturing plants. Well, they're still going to have it there, but they're going to move the AI manufacturing, part of the AI manufacturing, but I'm not very sure about that. But yes, but they will be manufacturing AI chips in the United States. Intel is going the same direction. They want to go for AI as well. So that's the reason why that they would try to apply for the grant. And they are not, Intel is not the only company either. There are other companies doing that. So the total of the Chip and Science Act, the total grant is like it's about $52.7 billion, aiming to kind of boost the domestic semiconductor production, including there's like $39 billion in subsidies for manufacturing and $11 billion for the research and development. So anyway, it's almost done, but we are not going to see anything unless it is done. So anyway, let's see how Intel is going to go, because throughout today, hopefully I'm going to go over more, but Sunday, I already prepared Sunday class too. It's about, because I already seen the numbers, the earnings for tech sector, the old school tech sector. I have to say, when I'm talking about PCs, we're talking about laptops company, they are not doing so good. So let's see about that. Well, since we were talking about Meta, the metaverse, let's go over Meta. So the Ryan James analysts, they just put the list. They have a list, the analyst's current favorite list, that now Meta is on it. I don't blame them. But and I also looked into the list too, and it is actually quite interesting. So you'll be hearing that list because I actually went over that, and a lot of them are some of the things that we picked before. So anyway, why would Raymond James pick Meta for it? And it just totally makes sense, because the investment firm sees Meta platform as well positioned and for a strong narrative around AI and generative AI, the monetization in 2025. And yes, they are. The advancements in the company's recommendation model, DLRM, are expected to boost the user's engagement by mid-singles to lower double-digits percentage. So anyway, furthermore, increasing the interaction with the Meta AI, which already boosts over 50 million monthly active users, could pave the way for a $10 billion plus opportunity in research and assistance service by 2026, particularly in target sectors like traveling and entertainment. So that is that. And also Raymond James analysts hold a street high estimate for the Meta's 2025 capex based on a detailed forecast that account for investments in the DLRM, the Meta AI, and also the Llama model. Well, even though the capex is high, Raymond James analysts kind of think that they have it under control anyway, so it's not going to be negative for them. So everything else looks pretty good for Meta too. So that's why, and I believe in that too. So right now the stock is $569, been down for the tech sector. The market caps is $1.4 trillion. Let's see what the future is like for Meta. Well, Warren Buffett is on the news again, but this time is not about what he's buying and selling. And I have been hearing about this The reason why he's buying and he's still selling, and this he's selling more than buying. The reason why he's prepared, he's going to be prepared because what he's planning to do, he will donate 99.5% of his wealth. That basically the ownership of what he owns in Berkshire Hathaway. They just go give it away. He just go donate it. So it's why on Friday it was on last week. Based on last week, it was worth it's around 150 billion dollars, and he is just go give it away, and I think that is really cool. They just go donate to different foundations. So in the letter to the Berkshire Hathaway shareholders on Monday, Buffett said three potential successor trustees has been designated if his daughter Susie 71 and sons Howard the 69 and also and then Peter 66 if he can't serve anymore. So Warren Buffett is 94 years old now and he is still trading. He's still buying and selling, and that's something that I admire. But the most I admire about him is that he is planning to donate everything to charities. So there are several charities he's already donated to. So I think that's great. But anyway, he's preparing. Basically, what he's doing, the reason why he's doing all these things lately, he's on the news all the time, is because he's preparing for one day if he goes away. He is ready to just give everything away. So, God bless his soul. The next one here, since it's the holiday season, people are going shopping. And yes, I usually go to Macy's too for my holiday shopping. But lately it's going to be hard. But anyway, we are seeing that too because right now, Macy's on Monday delayed their publication for its third quarter due to an accounting issues tied to the delivery expenses, and instead of posting preliminary results in which its sales miss Wall Street expectation. So usually when we see it's going to be delayed on filing, usually there's a big problem. But it was not really a big problem because that it was just a single employee that did something wrong. However, but we already know that Macy's is going to miss. It's going to miss the estimates and it's going to miss the guidance. So that's also the reason why the stock just came down quite hard. I'm not going to go over the single employees that kind of like there were some expenses like delivery expenses. They kind of like try to hide it. I don't know why she was doing it. It's already fired that person. So anyway, Macy's recorded about $4.36 billion as the delivery expenses in this period. The company expected the third quarter sales is going to be down 2.4%. The company, so I'm not going to talk about employees. Let's look into the numbers. The Macy's preliminary results showed net sales fall to $4.74 billion compared to $4.77 billion is estimated by the LSEG. That's the London Stock Exchange Group. So anyway, it's not really falling that far, but that it's still, it's still increased, but it's not increasing the percentage that we expected, especially it's coming to the holiday season and they're not really capitalizing it. So anyway, so that is Macy's. The last one we will go over is movie time. Well, it is the holiday season and let's go see movies. And this is something that caught my eye, Wicked and also Gladiator 2. And they are doing really good in the box office just the past weekend. And I'm definitely planning to go to watch it, especially Wicked, because it's just so cool. I'm a big fan of visual arts. So anyway, both movies racked up $270.2 million in global ticket sales over the weekend. So this is amazing. So anyway, let's look into the numbers too. Just Wicked, all right, is the first of two Universal Pictures film based on the Broadway prequel to the Wizard of Oz. So because there are stars in there, and they have just the U.S. and also the Canadian theater. They already generated $114 million plus global $50.2 million. So totally global is $164.2 million. This movie is definitely going to be making money. Gladiator 2. So you're looking at Gladiator. The global is going to be $100 million just over the weekend. They're going to make so much money on this one. So and because just the weekend, so they have the movies up Thursday night, maybe Friday, and then and it was only just a few days over the weekend. So I'm glad that good movie is coming back because there were none before. Good work. So now let's look into the market analysis. Stock market was great. It was interesting. There was that real. You can see the inverse relationship between the stock market and also the crypto market because the stock markets was doing good and then crypto was doing bad for the last few days. But today, the stock market is not doing so good, but cryptos are doing good, right? So that's quite interesting. So anyway, let's look into that. The Dow Jones Industry Average down 138 points or 0.3%. S&P 500 dropped 0.4%. And then the Nasdaq is down 0.6%. However, for the past few days, they are making record highs. I mean, talking about the last few days, not today though. So anyway, so the stock market is still being strong, but they can never be as strong as the crypto market. So anyway, the S&P 500 ends the 7-day winning streak. The market continues to focus on the Trump tariffs policy. And yeah, we'll go over it next time because he's going to, basically what he's saying that he's going to tax Canada and Mexico. And because he's blaming that the illegal immigrants are coming from Mexico and Canada, they're not stopping it, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, I mean, we have a border not just to keep people coming in, we gotta keep people from going out. So so Canada basically is the responsibility to keep people in too. So now we'll see about that. So they're talking about a 25% tax to Canada, the tariffs on Canada and Mexico, and also whatever tariff is going to put on China, they're going to put an extra 10% on that one. So that's quite interesting, I have to say. So and then we have the GDP came out today, just what we talked about earlier. PCE index was in line with market expectation. So anyway, the market is in line. I mean, we have Donald Trump keep nominating new people for for his cabinet. So then we'll go over it next time too, because there are a whole list of people, and they are all good at their very own stuff. So anyway, right now, the stock market is doing good, I have to say. So what we're trying to do, we just try to observe. You think there's when there's a good one to buy, especially if they are crypto related. We're talking about Coinbase, for example. We're talking MicroStrategy, those kind. We should take a look at that. So let's get into is crypto. So anyway, according to the CME Fed Watch, the probability of that, let's look into the rate cuts first. The Fed will maintain the current interest rate unchanged by December. The probability is 37.2%. And the probability of the cumulative interest rate cuts, 25 basis points, is 62.8%. So we are still optimistic about the rate cuts in the 25. However, I am not. The number I'm seeing is not telling the same story. So if they're gonna cut it, they are not gonna cut it the month after in January. So basically, but if they don't cut it, then I see a lot of reasons to that. So anyway, so the probability of the maintaining current interest rates unchanged by January next year is 28.4%. So probability of accumulate interest rate cuts of 25 basis points is 56.8. So 50 points basis points cuts is going to be the probabilities of 14.8, which is probably not going to happen. So that was the probability for the Federal Reserve interest rate cuts. Let's look into the Bitcoin, the cryptocurrency market. Bitcoin just rebounds sharply after continues. It continues. I can't really say it is a correct. Anything more than 10% is a correction. So it wasn't really a 10%. It was quite a little bit less than 10%. So it's more like a pullback, we call it. So the decline of this pullback is not actually large. So not even like 10 points in the total. So, but the fact that the market's bullish sentiment, but it came right back today. So now we know it could go down to $90,000. Before we were saying that the first one is going to be the first support level is in the 95,000. If it breaks that, it's going to be 90. The 90,000 is going to be a very strong one. So now we define it. We actually have the W pattern at the $90,000, and that is going to be a very strong supported level. So anyway, there's nowhere else but up from here. So if you can buy it on dips, great. But if you couldn't, you can buy the trend to, and either way, you can just buy. If you're looking at Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency as well. Right now we have Bitcoin. We're at over 96,000 already, and then it's gonna break 100,000. And then, but Ether though, look into Ether. Today it went up 10% already. It's 36,000. It's over 3,600. And Solana, oh my God, it's 200. It's over $240 already. And we're looking at 2 weeks ago, it was $140. So this is insane. Coinbase came down, kind of pulled back a little and came back up. Today, Coinbase is up 6% at 310. We already talked about the MicroStrategy, $388 went up 10% today. So now let's get more. Well, you guys already know the information on AIXL, so I'm just gonna continue telling you what's gonna happen. So I'm gonna give you all the numbers. The name of it, AIXL, is an IEO price is only 50 cents. And then this total supply of it is only 100 million of them. However, only half of the supply they are going to be issuing out. So it's going to be the allotment. So anyway, the application day started today, the 27th. All the way you can apply for it all the way till the 3rd, and the allotment day you will know exactly how much you're gonna get on the 4th, and you have a few days, you have like a week or so to pay for it. And before the listing day is going to be December the 13th. You have the lockup date from the 13th to the 20th, which means that you can buy more or sell more, which is a protection for the tokens. So anyway, so what other things we gotta go over? First of all, everybody's saying that because you have to understand this. The allotment, you might not get it. You might apply for it, but you might not get it, because all the time when it comes to IEO, we are not the only institute that is offering to our customers, to our clients, and for us, to our members. There are already other institutes already got the institutional allotments already. So anyway. So there's definitely more demand than supply. So that's the reason why even though we might have to apply for it, you might not get it, or you might not get the amount that you wanted. So anyway, how can we increase our chance to get the allotment that we want? Well, first of all, that's how the procedure is. First of all, you basically need to qualify, and there are 3 things. They will qualify you. The first thing is if you apply early. If you are one of the first people that you apply for the IEO, you might get it. You might get it earlier. You would have a better chance of getting it. Second, we have is that if you already have the funds inside your account, they will evaluate you have it, how much money you have in your account, and then if you have you have a significant amount, then you're basically all qualified. That's the second thing you're gonna be qualified. The third thing you're gonna be qualified is how much. The IEOs, like when we talk about platform, they don't like, just accounts that they don't apply for a lot. They apply for a small amount. So they want to take the ones that they apply for the larger amount at a time, or maybe at several times. So you can apply it for more than one times anyway. So those are the things that you have to remember that when you are trying to do this. So anyway, remember, apply as early as possible, have enough funds in your account, and also that apply as much as possible. And there's going to be, but still there's going to be a chance that you'll not get the amount that you want if it's too little, or you might not even get it anyway. So good luck. So afterwards, if you qualify for all three conditions, then now afterwards it's more like a lottery. But they do prioritize the people that meet all three of these conditions. All right. So those are the secret that I'm telling you. So anyway, that's all I'm gonna go over today. Well, happy Thanksgiving, and I am having my Thanksgiving dinner tomorrow night too. So anyway, and Black Friday shopping, and have a lot of fun. Have a great weekend, and I will be seeing you Sunday. Have a good night.